It starts with Sebastian Valmont, a rich, privileged playboy who is a heartless seducer who views life as a game when it comes to women. Sebastian is with his therapist, flirts with her saying she has beautiful legs that he would love to photograph. Just then her daughter calls. She puts it on hold. He sees a picture of her daughter and comments about her beauty, but his therapist says she's out of his league. After Sebastian leaves, she speaks to her daughter who is crying because her naked pictures are on the internet, and she tells her that Sebastian did it. The therapist is furious and screams at him from the window. But unbothered, he asks another girl for a date. Sebastian goes to meet his stepsister, Kathryn, who has a perfect facade of being the ideal good girl in their high society world. Cecile Caldwell and her mother are talking to Kathryn and praising her for what a good girl she is. The mother asks Kathryn to take Cecile under her wing and make her as good as she is. Kathryn agrees. After they leave, Kathryn asks Sebastian for a favor. Her ex-boyfriend, Court Reynolds, dumped her for the sweet, innocent Cecile, and Kathryn is furious. She wants revenge. She wants Cecile's reputation ruined, and for everyone to call her a tramp. Kathryn's idea of revenge? Sebastian should seduce Cecile and destroy her innocence. That way, her ex would have to deal with a ruined girl. But Sebastian isn't particularly excited by this challenge. Cecile is naive and too easy of a target for him. He finds her too childlike and innocent to even be a challenge for his cunning seduction games. What Sebastian is really interested in is a bigger prize. Annette Hargrove, a virgin who wants to save herself for true love. In Sebastian's eyes, seducing someone like Annette, who believes in love and virtue, would be the ultimate conquest. Kathryn and Sebastian make a bet. If Sebastian manages to seduce Annette before school starts, he gets to sleep with Kathryn. Yes, his own stepsister. Kathryn puts herself as a reward to motivate Sebastian. On the flip side, if Sebastian fails, Kathryn gets his beloved car, his pride and joy. Annette is staying with Sebastian's aunt. He goes to meet his aunt. As his aunt leaves to make some iced tea, Sebastian takes Annette away. As they talk, Sebastian tells her that he read her manifesto, and it's appalling as she's criticizing sex, something she hasn't done yet. She says people their age shouldn't be having sex until they understand the meaning of love, which is not until they are older. He asks her if she's lesbian. She says no, but she has heard about his promiscuous nature from a friend. He is surprised and not happy about it. Kathryn goes to meet Cecile, who is taking music lessons from Ronald Clifford. She sees how Ronald tries to get close to Cecile and how they are enjoying each other's company. Sebastian tells his friend Blaine about how someone told on him. Blaine asks him where is Annette from. He says Kansas. Blaine says the football stud Greg McConnell is from Kansas. Blaine says he's gay as he invited him for a kissing session. Sebastian asks him to arrange a meeting with Greg at midnight and pays him for it. Blaine agrees. Kathryn is chilling with Cecile. Kathryn asks her about her date with Court Reynolds. She says he was going on and on about the bulimic head case he dumped. Kathryn is not happy to hear that, since he's talking about her. Cecile says that he invited her to the Hamptons for the weekend. Cecile says she's scared because she's not even gone first base with a guy. Then Kathryn kisses her and shows her how it's done. Kathryn tells her to practice on Ronald, as he's crazy about her. Cecile tells her that Ronald writes her love letters and she keeps them under her dollhouse. Kathryn tells her to get the letters so she can help her reply, as she's amazing with love letters and he'll be addicted to her. Kathryn says she can also arrange a get-together for them at her house. Cecile is delighted and thanks Kathryn, saying she's her best friend. Annette is reading in her room, and suddenly loud music starts playing. She goes to check who's doing that, and it's Sebastian near the poolside. He says he thought she'd like it. He gives her a cute bag for school. She likes it. He invites her for a swim. She agrees and goes to get changed, but when she returns, she sees naked Sebastian taking a shower, who asks her to look away so he can put on his bathing suit. She's embarrassed and says that she's surprised how manipulative he is and says she's been warned about him by a friend. He asks her who told her about his promiscuity. She doesn't say who. He tries to make her feel sorry for him, saying no one understands him, but she doesn't fall for it. He says that he fancies her, but she says she has a boyfriend, that he's not her type, and leaves. Sebastian walks in on Greg, getting cozy with Blaine. Sebastian snaps a picture of them together, blackmails Greg, and asks him if he told Annette about his promiscuousness. He says he didn't. Blaine supports him. So Sebastian believes him and says his gay secret is safe only if he puts in a good word to Annette about him and finds out who told her about his reputation. He does that and tells Sebastian that Cecile's mother warned Annette about his reputation. Sebastian goes to tell Kathryn that Cecile's mother ratted him out, and he can't wait to take his revenge on her. Kathryn asks Sebastian if he had sex with Annette yet, while she sat on him and stroked him. He says no, but he'll do it soon. Kathryn tells him that she's going to do something nasty with Cecile and leave Sebastian just when he's hard and wanting more. Kathryn meets with Cecile's mother and tells her that Cecile likes Ronald, and he writes her love letters which she hides under her dollhouse. Kathryn says she's telling her this because it can ruin Cecile's reputation. Cecile's mother is furious and fires Ronald. When he's leaving Sebastian and Kathryn meet him at the elevator and give him a love letter Cecile wrote to him. He's shocked and asks what he should do next. They tell him to confess his love by writing a letter. He goes to Kathryn's room to write the letter. Sebastian calls Cecile and tells her he has Ronald's letter and she has to come get it. She puts a doll in her bed and sneaks out to meet him. She then writes Ronald a letter at Sebastian's place. He begins taking pictures of her and asks her to be sexy. She does, and he asks her to take off all her clothes. She tries to leave, but then he blackmails her that he'll call her mother, and she says she'll do anything, and he goes down on her. Next morning, her mother goes to her room looking for her, and she enters with ruffled hair, saying she's back from shopping. Her mother tells her she needs to look her best, as she will go to meet Sebastian's aunt, as she's important to the school. Sebastian joins the meeting and teases Cecile. Annette is there too. Cecile leaves abruptly. His aunt then asks Annette and Sebastian to fill in for her at the old age home. They go to the old age home to volunteer, and when they are returning, Annette makes Sebastian laugh by making funny faces and they hold hands. Kathryn goes to meet Cecile, and she tells her how Sebastian blackmailed her and went down on her. Kathryn tells her she needs to have sex with Sebastian so she can get better at sex and please Ronald. She says she needs to practice a lot so she can do it with Sebastian. Cecile says she'll become a slut then. But Kathryn tells her that everyone does it like it's a secret society. She believes it. Cecile and Sebastian have sex, and he writes everything in his diary. Sebastian tells Kathryn that he's falling for Annette, as he's spying on her using binoculars. Kathryn says she's winning the bet. He tells her she's not winning. He goes to talk to Annette, and they kiss. She pushes him away, he apologizes, but then says he doesn't take it back, and asks her if she doesn't have even the slightest feelings for him. She says she does have feelings for him. He asks her why can't they be together then, and why is she bottling her feelings for him. She says because she can't trust herself when she's around him, and leaves. Sebastian goes to say goodbye to Annette because he can't take her games and calls her a hypocrite, as she's not accepting love when it's right in front of her. She stops him and kisses him and unbuttons her top, but he says he can't do it and leaves. That makes Annette cry. Kathryn goes to ask Sebastian the status of the bet. He tells her that he could fuck Annette, but he didn't. Kathryn tells him that she left their aunt's place half an hour ago. Sebastian calls Greg to ask him if she's with him. He tells him that she's taking the train to a friend's place. He meets her at the train station, and they kiss. They sleep together. Sebastian is taking flowers to Annette, and he hears moans from Kathryn's room. He finds Ronald hiding and understands that they were having sex. Ronald leaves, and Kathryn tells Sebastian that she wants to have sex with him, but he leaves, which makes her furious. Kathryn later tells him that he can't be dating Annette, as her father, the headmaster, will not let her roam with a boy with his reputation, and that will also destroy her manifesto, and threatens to call the headmaster and tell him. He says he's planning to tell Annette the truth, and he's willing to take a risk. He breaks up with Annette and tells her he just wanted to sleep with her. He's literally shivering while saying it, and she knows he's lying. But he leaves. He goes to Kathryn and gives her a letter from Ronald saying that Ronald had to end things with her, as Sebastian arranged a meeting with Ronald and Cecile. He tells her they can toast to her victory over Annette, but she tells him that she won over him, and she manipulated him to break up with Annette even though she knew he was in love. Heartbroken, Sebastian gives his diary and a letter to Annette. He apologizes and tells her the whole truth. Kathryn calls Ronald in the night, telling him that Sebastian hit her, and something about Cecile. Sebastian is walking and Ronald confronts him about sleeping with Cecile. They start fighting. Annette gets there and tries to make them stop, but she gets pushed into traffic. Sebastian saves her, but he meets with an accident and dies. In the bathroom, Kathryn snorts coke from her cross, and at Sebastian's funeral, as she's giving the eulogy, kids start walking out, and Cecile is seen distributing copies of Sebastian's diary that talks about the coke in her cross and all her deception and games. The headmaster opens her cross and sees the coke, and she's exposed. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below if you want to see what happens next. I hope you'll like the video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to watch many more such cool recaps. And hit the bell icon too. Bye.